Do da 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 da, check one. Oh, hey yeah.
it through the blush. Oh, what a revelation. It felt like a salvation when I painted what was inside out. Puckered her lips and pouted. What a situation. I think I found my new vocation. But honey, you said wait. Based on my inherited values that I have not investigated, this makes me uncomfortable. It's such a scandal, and it's hard for me to handle. And I said great. I don't know why you think you're entitled to a certain presentation from others, but I am happy to dismantle it, 'cause this is how you fight it. I know they want you to hide it. They knock you 'cause they ain't tried it. You got passion, feeling good's never going out of fashion. If those haters got you stressing, let a queen give you a lesson. Since you're asking, stay proud, radiate, keep laughing. I keep laughing, baby. Oh, they seem mad, but I am not the one. Don't care if they don't understand my transformation. I don't know an explanation. I'm recovering the joy they stole. I'm working on my soul, mind, body integration, and a little augmentation. Now baby, I've been blessed. If you think shaming me is the way, then you might wanna think again, because your words could ricochet and make me famous. And the opposite of shame is happiness. The deepest truth of the divine is that you were meant to be happy in the here and now. So mama, why don't we reclaim this right? Now's your time to shimmer. I know they want you to hide it. They knock it 'cause they ain't tried it. You got passion, feeling good's never going out of fashion. If those haters got you stressing, let a queen give you a lesson. Since you're asking, stay proud, radiate, keep laughing. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, keep on laughing. Stay proud, radiate. Only love can drive out hate. Your worth will not depreciate. Laugh a little every day. Stay proud, radiate.
Only love can drive out hate.
Your worth will not depreciate. Laugh a little every day.
Stay proud, radiate. Only love can drive out hate.
Your worth will not depreciate. Laugh a little every day.
Stay proud, radiate.
Only love can drive out hate.
Your worth will not depreciate.
Laugh a little every day.
Stay proud, radiate.
Only love can drive out hate. Your worth will not depreciate.
Laugh a little every day. Stay proud. I know they want you to hide it. They knock it 'cause they ain't tried it. You got passion and feeling good's never going out of fashion. If those haters got you stressing, let a queen give you a lesson. If you're asking, stay proud, radiate, keep laughing. I know they want you to hide it. They knock it 'cause they ain't tried it. You got passion and feeling good's never going out of fashion. Those haters got you stressing, let a queen give you a lesson. If you're asking, stay proud, radiate.
Yeah, we love that. Stay proud, radiate, keep laughing. Y'all want to stand with us? Let's sing some songs. In the name of love, it's all in the name of love. In the name of love, it's all in the name of love. It's all in the name of love. Every color, every shade, painted in the name of love. Every gender, every race, created in the name of love. Come on, sing it. In the name of love, it's all in the name of love. In the name of love, it's all in the name of love. We're so glad that you have all joined us today at GracePointe. How many saw us in the parade or at our booth yesterday? Yeah, we saw that? Yeah, that's good. You may be here, you may actually never been to a faith space that has affirmed you, that has celebrated you, and we want you to know that exactly who you are, exactly how you exist in this world, we love, we cherish, we celebrate it. And we've got a song here at GracePointe, an original called God is on Our Side. And what I want to do is change a couple of the words and let us sing it. And maybe you've never heard the words that God is for you, God is with you, God is on your side. So we want to sing those words together. And if you want to look at somebody, tell them that God is with me, God is for me, God is on my side. We're going to sing those words right here. Here we go. God is with you, God is with me, God is on your side. God is with you, God is with you, God is for you, God is for you, God is on your side. Let's sing it again. Oh, God is with you, God is for you, God is on your side, God is on your side. God is with you, God is for you, God is on your side. Yeah. I think we got the hang of it. That's all it is. We're going to change it up just a little bit more. And if you're in this space and you know you hear it from somebody else, God is with you, God is for you, that's fine. But if you need to believe it and say it about yourself, maybe you close your eyes, maybe you tell somebody, there's power in words. We're going to say, God is with me, God is for me, God is on my side. And I want you to believe that about yourself, because we 100% believe that about you. Let's sing it together. God is with me, God is for me, God is on my side, yeah. God is with me, God is for me, God is on my side. God is with me, God is with me, God is for me, God is on my side. One more time. Oh, God is with me, God is for me, God is on my side. Oh, I need you and you need me, together in the name of love. Let's join our hearts and we will see we're connected in the name of, come on, sing it out. In the name of love, it's all in the name of love. In the name of love, it's all in the name of love. One more time. In the name of love, it's all in the name of love. In the name of love, it's all in the name of love. That's awesome. Thank you. You can be seated.
Good morning. Happy Pride. My name is Craig Ammon. My pronouns are he and him. I'm a member of our leadership council, and this weekend I am celebrating my 10th Pride with this amazing church, GracePointe. So for any of you all who are new, who may have found us yesterday at Pride, there's a QR code, or is there a QR code? Are we going to have it? There we go. Scan the QR code that will help us get connected to you and you to get connected to us. You fill out your information, we'll send you an email. We promise we won't spam you, but just want to reach out to you and see if there's anything that you need and anything in particular that you're interested in as you've gone, I guess, searching for searches and found us. Also, the QR code will also tell you about all the activities that we have going on. One thing in particular that we wanted to talk about is a course on gender and sexuality and scripture. It's led by Lindsay Keller. It will be on Wednesdays from July to August. So if you scan the QR code, you'll be able to sign up for that. We also have several different groups within our community to help you sort of meet you where you are in your journey of faith or in your family life. So we have the Salt and Pepper group, for example, for old fogies like myself, for us to get it together. We also have a young adult meetup. We have an LGBTQIA group as well. And then we also have some book studies and other things going on. So please do scan that code so you can find out what's going on. And then finally, if you'd like to get involved, lots of people who are looking, and especially I know queer people who haven't been able to find a space, a church space of theirs, they're looking to connect. And sometimes it's hard to make that connection when we file in and we sit down and we talk to a few people and we file back out. Volunteering is a fabulous way to meet people, and it's a great way to meet Josh, our pastor, and the staff and our musicians. So if you'd like to do something like set up on Sunday mornings, please also fill out that code. And then finally, I've told you about our groups. Sorry. I was really jazzed to do this announcement, and I'm so nervous, so y'all bear with me. And then also, no one likes to talk about money and collections in a church, but ultimately what it comes down to is supporting this church and our ministry so that we can exist for people like me and people like you. We're obviously not spending our funds on extravagant accommodations for us, so we like to stay lean, but we want to be a space for people to land, right? Because so many people have felt unwelcome in their own church, where they're coming from. The reason I love this church is that when I walked into these doors for the first time, I had been sober for about 2 weeks. I'd been out of the closet for about 4 months. And this church became an affirming church the very week that I came out to my wife and kids. And for the last 9 years, this journey of me changing my belief about who I am, me changing my belief about who God is, about what is waiting for me at the end of this life, and my place in this community. It has all changed, and I have grown. But what has not changed is that this church, GracePointe Church, has been a safe and affirming and loving place for me to do that. And it can be that for you as well, and for all of you online. So if you would like to support our mission to be a safe and affirming place that people can be told, you are a beloved child of God. You are loved, and you are welcome here, and we would love to have you. So everyone, once again, happy Pride. Thank you for being here.
We're going to switch because I don't know how to push a button. Hey, I'm Tiffany. First off, welcome. I cannot follow that. I don't know how I'm going to because I'm a little emotional now. But happy Pride in all the ways possible. And so even if you're someone in person or online that maybe you can't scream happy Pride yet, you're not there, or maybe you're questioning if Pride feels like it's a thing for you, I want you to know it's okay to also sit and be still in Pride moments too. I've had to do that for several years, and it's okay. It's still just as beautiful and just as special. We're a place for all people. I'm Tiffany. My pronouns are she, they. I'm our director of our kids, our students, and I help out with our college group and other things. So today, since we are a church for all people, it is time. If you are a child, you can be in heart or in real life, whatever. We're going to invite you to join us up here in the front. And so we're going to have our kids moment. So children, come on. You're going to clap for them because they're awesome. I'm just going to hold it. They're nervous. I don't know what they're doing. Mostly they were playing with a really cool thing that they made. Y'all want to sit up here? This is weird. Some of y'all haven't done this. So you're going to sit on the steps and you're going to face them, and I'm going to talk to them. Okay. You ready? Now, the cool thing about today is you don't have to look scared. Okay? Okay. The cool thing is you're going to get to talk into the mic when I give you the mic. Are you excited for? I know. Okay, so today is Pride. Do y'all know what that means? Mila, you want to? What do you think it is, Katie?
Holiday.
Holiday. Mila, do you want to tell us what Pride is? Yeah. Let's see if this will reach. No? She changes her mind. It's okay. But here's the thing. There is a symbol that goes with Pride that's very colorful. Do you know what it is?
The rainbow.
The rainbow. Okay, what are the colors of the rainbow? Yeah, they were better at this. I had to Google this, y'all. And that was bad. Okay, so I need you to take a marker. Whatever marker. Oh, okay. Orange. Do you want orange? Yes. Okay. What color do you want? What color do you want? Okay, we have 3 more. Who wants another color? There we go. Okay. It's okay. I like orange. Okay, friends. So we know that God is, what is God? God is one word that starts with the L. Mila, you're going to act. Girl, you got to wait for the mic.
Love.
Love. What else is God?
A spirit.
A spirit. Do you have anything?
Yes.
Yeah, it's okay if you don't want to say it. Do you have anything?
Yes.
Katie likes the mic.
And loving mommy and mama.
She said she loved her moms. That's what's happening. Okay, so God is love, God is spirit. So today we're going to help, and y'all can help us because we may need creativity. So we have the rainbow color. So the first color is red, right? What is one word that can describe God that you can remember when you see the red color? What do you think? Just say it out loud. Love? Okay, red is love. Everyone agree red is love? This is for all of you too. Okay, what's our next color in our rainbow? Orange. What can orange remind us of? Anxiety? Inside Out has ruined my lesson, is what just happened. Okay, I could say that God loves us in our anxiety. Do you want to come up with another word, or are we sticking with anxiety? We're sticking with anxiety. Okay, so red is love, orange is anxiety. We are a progressive deconstructing church. Okay, what's our next color? Yellow. Who has yellow? You got another color? That's you. Do you want to tell us another one for yellow? Do you have one? What'd you say? Funniness. What do you have? Sunshine. Okay, and we're gonna combine it into funniness, sunshine. Okay, so what is red? Love. What is orange? Anxiety. What is yellow? Funniness, sunshine. Okay, what's our next color? Green. What do you got? Oh, what do you have? Jealous? Oh man, y'all. God is jealous? Justice. We switched from jealous to justice. Okay, do you want to add one? Earth. Okay, I like that. Oh, that looks like environmental justice. Okay, so we have love, anxiety, funniness, sunshine, and then justice and earth. What's our next color? Blue. Sky. God is sky. What do you think God is? Do y'all have an answer? God is peace. Can y'all choose peace? Yes, they like peace. Thank you. Helpful. Okay, what's next? We have our purples. Indigo. It's this one. Okay, I'm going to pick someone in this section. Who has an answer for indigo of what God is? Y'all didn't know y'all were involved in this now, did you? Yeah, it's a purple. It's like a darkie. It's a dark purple. It's a children, dark markers. What do you want? Who do you want to do this? Andrew? What's your answer? You're the only Andrew. I know it's not true, but you're the one right in front of me. And she pointed at you, and she's a child. Thank you, Mila. Kind. Do y'all like that answer? Okay. We have one last answer, and this is going to go to Josh. Okay, you ready? This is, Josh, yours is purple. God is something that we can remember when we see the color purple. No, not really. It can be joy. Joy. Yay. Very good job. Okay, friends. Oh, that was a lot. So when we think about rainbows, here's the thing for them and for us. When we think about a rainbow, yes, it's pride, and yes, it's joy. We know the colors historically mean something. There is a beautiful way that we can intersect our spirituality of who God is with each of those things. It doesn't have to be this or that or anything in particular. We think God is love, and God lives everywhere, right? Are y'all ready for your snack? That's what they're ready for. If you are a kid or a teenager, we're going to do our snacks in the back corner, and we have 2 volunteers that are going to help you get those snacks. So I'm going to let the kids go, and adults, you stay still. That's including you. Teenagers. Mm-hmm. I know. Yeah. Okay. Yes, you can clap for them. Okay, adults, it is your time to socially interact, meet people. I know this may be uncomfortable for some of you. Some of you, it's not. But I want to invite you to get up, meet someone else, grab some coffee, donuts, just mingle, and we'll be back in just a moment.
Good morning, everybody. It is so good to see y'all. Happy Pride. I'm thrilled. Well, first of all, I told Craig over there after his announcements, I said, well, we've already had the sermon, because that was powerful, Craig. Thank you so much. We love you, and we are so grateful for you and what you mean to this community. So today we're not going to have, we're not going to have a traditional sermon format. Instead, I thought we have 2 amazing queer folks on our staff. And Tiffany has spoken some, but I don't know, Ricky, that we've ever heard from you in this way.
I'm never up here.
I mean,
So yes, probably not.
You're up here with a microphone, but not like this. And so I thought it would be great for us as we think about the importance and the significance and why we, as a church, take a Sunday out of our schedule each year and call it Pride Sunday and celebrate Pride together. So we're going to talk about that a little bit today. But I want to begin with both of you all are not new to the Christian faith game. You're not new to the ministry situation. And so I thought, Ricky, I'll start with you. Can you just talk a little bit about, you've been a Christian a long time. You've been in music a long time. You've been in Christian music a long time. Could you just give us a little bit of that, where you started and how that began?
I grew up Pentecostal holiness, for those of y'all who know what that is. In church, my granddad was the pastor of the church that I was raised in. And yeah, my family used to sing Southern gospel music together. So music and faith were kind of both the beginnings of my childhood and then throughout. I went to Belmont University here in Nashville, and we met Haley. Is it Haley? Yeah. Yes. She's a Belmont student, so I just met. But went to Belmont for music, and all the while I was definitely devoted to Christian music. I was raised to believe that other types of music were not the best types of music to give my life to. And, since God gave me the talent, I was supposed to use it for singing about Christian and Jesus and God. So I did that for a very long time.
Did you ever have to do a music purge? Or did you just
I
not
burned
buy
CDs.
Yeah.
I burned lots of CDs. But we actually, in the Pentecostal holiness, we weren't burning because we weren't listening to rap and things like that. We were burning CDs that were technically Christian still, but a little
Just not Christian enough.
Just not Christian enough. So we had to burn DC Talk CDs and things like that. Yeah, that was what I was raised on.
No Jesus freaks allowed.
We didn't play that. So yeah, Christian music, Christianity and music have been kind of my thing, and I've led worship in several different churches here in Nashville, but not as my full self. I hid and was not out until 2019. I didn't come out. I was 36 years old, and my beautiful partner is here today, Logan, and his family, and he's a big reason why I came out at the time that I did. So once I started wading into those waters of self-love, the threads started pulling immediately, and I could no longer stay in the context. I was serving on staff at a church in Lebanon, and could no longer feel good about that. So I had to come off staff because they were not affirming at all. And so thankfully I found GracePointe in 2019. Just as we came as visitors and sat on the back row in Clementine. Y'all remember Clementine when we met? And wept for the first time. That 16-year-old self who knew he was gay, but also faith was important to him. Those two people kind of integrated for the first time here at GracePointe. So it's been beautiful since.
I remember the Sunday you walked in, because we knew each other. We'd met before. And when you walked in, I was like, I know that guy. And I was so glad to see you. So Tiffany, your experience, you grew up in a different denomination and had some different experiences. Would you share a little bit about how you came into the Christian world?
It is always mesmerizing to me to hear radically different spaces, because I'm like, you burn DC Talk, and I'm like, I had that, and I loved it, and I was a little too Christian-y, for all my other friends. So I was adopted at 7, so before that, church was not really a thing in most spaces, but my parents, my dad is a United Methodist. He was United Methodist pastor. He recently disaffiliated with the United Methodist and went to a community church. He is non-affirming, but he loves me, and I'm the only gay person on the planet that could be a preacher because he knows what I believe. So we have an interesting relationship, but that started learning about this theology that could ask questions from that same human being, which was amazing. My grandmother on the other side is also a United Methodist minister. My mom's entire side is United Methodist, and they are very, very Methodist. So we like committees and structures and questions and the quadrilateral and all the geeky things. But the coolest thing that brought me to this space was hearing Josh's sermons, and we've talked about this a few times, of the sermons are so easy for me to listen to, because the theology is something that's so comforting to me. And very few places outside of Methodism have I found that the theology resonates. So in the United Methodist Church, the big struggle I went through, there's a lot of layers to it. You can be involved in every single thing from local level all the way up to international level because it's a big denomination. And I was in everything as a teen. And so I was affirmed a lot in preaching. I literally have spoken in tons of churches. And
I thought you spoke
I really thought she was going to say
spoken in tongues, because I was about to say I've spoken in tongues too.
I heard that one time, and I did not know what to do. So I sat there with my Methodist self with the Pentecostals and just held my own hand because I did not know what to do. No, I have spoken in tons of pulpits that are non-affirming, but they invited me, and they probably would still invite me, and which is a confusing, and it's sad because I'm like, you can love me, you can love my words, you can even pay me to teach you stuff, but there's this barrier that constantly happens. So around 18, 19, I went through for ordination, which is really young for a United Methodist. But we knew that was what was going to happen. It's a several-year process, but I was ready to do the mentorship, do the seminary, do everything. Lots of affirming spaces. Every layer of the church leadership had affirmed me. And then we got to interviews. Someone was prepping me, and essentially they were like, here's the questions you're asked. And when they prep you, it's like a mental health background thing, like, are you in a good place? Do you have all kinds of stuff. It's not just like, what do you believe? That's important. But it's like, are you as a person okay? And one of the questions is about their book of discipline, which is not the Bible. It's a book of their laws and stuff. And it was like, can you affirm them? And at that time, the book of discipline said you could not be a homosexual, essentially. It's terrible language. It's very recently been ratified, thank Jesus.
Thankfully.
But I couldn't, because my choice, and my dad even talked to me about well, you can lie, and you can do this, and you're not married to anyone, and people don't have to know. And we knew several clergy who were gay, and I didn't want to lie. So I did youth ministry, because you can be gay and do youth ministry just about anywhere. So I did youth ministry for 18 years, waiting around for ordination. But I even came out to an affirming, or a pastor who said he was affirming right as the United Methodist, the last time, kind of doubled down. They made language in their laws that said you cannot be a self-avowed practicing homosexual. And they kind of went backwards again. And so that day, I went to this pastor. He was like, I'm affirming. He didn't know anything. And I came out to him, and within a week, I came back from a youth conference, and I got invited into the office, and I was let go. And the language, he wasn't there. It was this space of it's because of other things. And in my meeting with him, he wanted me to come out to the whole church because he was so scared that if a youth parent remotely found out that I might possibly be gay, that they would leave our church. After he said he was affirming. And it's stupid. First, it's just stupid. So it was a lot of distrusting the system that I believe and the God that I believe in because of pastors. And so one of the things that I've been at several other churches that have been both affirming and not fully affirming. And so I've been on the edge of being able to be my full self everywhere I've gone. But I've been at churches where my pronoun was an issue. And it was that's weird for an affirming church. And so when I interviewed with Josh, we had a very honest conversation about hey, I've been fired by affirming pastors, which is weird for their fear of that. And so I had followed GracePointe for years. I Googled, can you be gay and Christian, like everyone does, and found Stan speaking somewhere. And then I applied for the job because of an Instagram post, and not many people liked it, to be honest. And I was like, oh, there's not much competition. That was honestly my thoughts. And then Josh and I had a conversation, and because he doubled down that I'm not going to fire you for being gay, he could fire me for literally anything else. But I was like, just not that thing. It was like an easy space. So, yeah, it's like the one place here where I'm like, look, all these ridiculous years of experience can actually like exist fully, and like I can breathe when I'm here, which is beautiful.
So, beautiful. I want to follow up on something you just said, and that is, and Ricky, I'll come to you. It just had to be agonizing to to be forced to choose between, and I'm going to use some language here that means lots of things in lots of settings, and we probably don't mean that by what I'm saying, or I don't. But this sense of calling, the sense of you had work to do in the world that was for the church, for the Christian community. You had a gift to give, and you are being forced to choose between giving the gift or being your authentic self that God made you. When in reality, good spirituality doesn't call us away from our authentic selves. It actually calls us home to our authentic self. I don't even know if there's a question there. I just want to acknowledge that had to be terrible.
I think that was one of the biggest pieces for me when I was young, growing up in the church. There were only two options that I was given. It was basically, in order to be a Christian, you cannot be gay. If you are going to be gay, you cannot be a Christian and involved and belong here. Like those were the two options. And so I chose and deeply believed, like I bought in 100% for way too many years that lie that I was told. And I think, they believed it themselves. I don't think they were trying to tell me something that they didn't believe, but I believed it, grew up in the church, tried to be faithful to that because I did believe that. So there was a lot of self-hate, self-not accepting for my own self. And so because I believed that I could not be a Christian or part of faith community and be gay, it wasn't an option to be gay. So I didn't feel any sense of, gosh, I wish I could just be myself. I didn't. It took a lot of deconstructing for me to believe that was okay about myself. Like I actually had to go through a lot of work and therapy and healing. A lot of it happened here to believe that I was okay and I could actually be gay and myself. And that took years and years, and it was scary and very. It was very hard to do. But that's why I'm thankful for places like GracePointe, because I didn't expect the pastor of the church that I was on staff with when I started entering into self-love. And it was one of the last pieces that I started deconstructing. On a social level, I was very much progressive, I think, in a lot of ways. But I didn't have the piece of, this is okay, my sexuality. I could see it for other people. I could affirm other people being gay and serving in churches and things, but I couldn't. My personal piece was the last piece for me to do that and step into. And once I did, it was within the context of GracePointe and having Shelley, who used to lead here, invite me to sing on stage and help lead worship. But way before I was ever on staff or anything, I had to do work of believing that I was okay. And so that's why earlier when we were singing, God is for you, God is with you, God is on your side, that's great. And I had a beautiful amount of people telling me that. But the words, God is for me, God is with me, God is on my side, is what the work that I had to do to believe that myself. And so once I knew that those two options were not the only two options, I came out swinging. I was ready because I truly believed, wow. I stopped believing the lie, and this feels way more whole and truthful. And so, yeah, I started doing that.
And I can, just in knowing you, the joy that becomes possible when you're no longer holding the tension between pretending to be someone else so that you can find a spot and just stepping into. I often tell Ricky, how many of you know the Enneagram? How many are the Enneagram? I often tell Ricky he's the healthiest Enneagram 8 I've ever met in my entire life because he will get it done, but he does it in a kind way. And so, yeah, just seeing you, and I've known you now for quite a while, and you've been on staff here for years, and I've watched you just kind of grow as not only as a staff member, but as a human. Which is, what often happens, and you know this too, on church staffs? It's the plural of staff. There's a V added. On church staffs, sometimes what can happen is you don't grow as a person because of you're trying to do all the things and keep your job and all. And so I think it's a beautiful thing about GracePointe is that our staff actually can grow as people and not just professional whatever they are. So I know listening to your story, Tiffany, I think there had to have been similar thing to Ricky. There had to have been a lot of grief, knowing that people are coming to you and saying, "I think you have this ability in you. You can do this. You have talent, and also the only thing you have to do is not be yourself."
Yeah, there was, especially so Methodist is more like don't ask, don't tell. Like across it. So like I didn't know another gay person, like at all. I knew like people outside spaces that were gay, but they weren't Christian. And so I had people I assumed the whole time, and I have been right, that they were gay. But, we didn't talk about it. We didn't ask about it. And there was no sermons against it in any way, shape, or form. So this idea, like no one was telling me I couldn't be gay and a Christian, but you could tell. And because my family is in ministry, also me telling one person that's remotely connected to the Methodist Church could have been telling my family. I love connectional systems, but when you're connected to an entire region of a state, like deeply, like you have to be very careful. And so that was really hard. And then I would get to these spaces where they would do young adult events, and we would be like international students would come in, and especially there were some students from Germany who were Methodist, and they came in and we were having this discussion, and I remember being in college there for a call to ministry conference with hundreds of other people, and we're talking about LGBTQ inclusion, and the German students are like so confused on why we're struggling because they're also part of our church, but they don't believe in the same things we're doing as far as inclusion. And I just remember these students standing up and be like, you can be gay and a Christian. And we're sitting in a giant circle and you can feel the tension in the room. And I just remember feeling so like vulnerable and seen and terrified and like, oh God, like gay panic, but like in the worst way possible of like everyone can tell. But everyone in that room is in that room because they're kind of gay. Like, duh, that's why we showed up. But we could not acknowledge it. And I remember hearing someone else's story of a seminary student, Boston Theological. So like for a Methodist to go to Boston Theological, it's the school of the prophets. It is like the school you go to if you care about justice and academia and like this is who you are. And she told a story about at graduation she met her partner, and she was shocked by it because she thought she had like prevented acting on being gay all through, and she was just going to go be a pastor, go to a church, and do the calling of God. And I just remember just being so sad of like, this person like literally is at the crossroad of their call to ministry, which is your livelihood, and then the person they love, and they met them in the graduation line. And I was just like, oh God, that like feels scary. And at that point, that was the moment I started wrestling with, what do I do? Because I will have that cross point. And I remember going through prayers of like, they were literal prayers of like, God, I will like cut off this piece of my, all the terrible church language of like, I will give up this thing. I didn't think it was a sin ever. So I didn't know how to talk about it. I was like, this thing that they think is bad, take it away. And it didn't go away at all. So I don't remember when I came out. It was a very slow, weird, random, like tell a couple Methodist pastors that I knew were 100% safe and was like, do not tell my parents. Don't tell anyone that might possibly know them, and never put anything ever on social media. Yeah. And I will never speak about inclusion publicly. And the moment I told my mom, she does not like this. She may see this, and it'll be okay. And I'm sorry, Mom. The moment I told my mom was at an annual conference which if you understand structure, that's the big gathering of all the churches. It's the worst time to come out to a parent. I was about to go on stage to work with students who had made a very big statement saying they were for inclusion. So a bunch of high school students about to jump on stage with a bunch of pride gear on saying, we're for inclusion, church, we need to get moving. And I was gonna be the adult standing with them, which was gonna look a little sus. So I took my mom outside and I made her stand still. And I was like, I need to tell you something. I'm gay. She said, what? And I walked away. So I went back inside and did my job. And then I forgot I had to stay at their house that night. So we had a longer conversation. But the biggest thing has been this weird journey of like, can I be both? And a lot of places tell you you can, but they don't know how to get you there. And then there's this other weird intersection of I'm also a woman in the South. So I'm like, which one do you hate more sometimes? And GracePointe has been a great space of like, I can speak, and my story is important too.
That's right.
Yeah.
So last question, because I could ask you questions all day. Why is it important, with all of your story, both of your stories, what we've heard, why is it so important for us to do what we're doing today, to celebrate Pride as a community?
I was thinking, one of the most meaningful things I think I've done as a staff member at GracePointe is we did the college fair at Belmont. And because I went to Belmont and I know what I was like at Belmont, me being able to represent GracePointe as a staff member, see, that's going to make me emotional because I know there were so many students coming probably into Belmont who's not quite affirming. They're probably better than they used to be when I was there. And just having us represented was a big deal, I'm sure. But knowing the students who would come there who probably had never, like myself, been told that you are okay, you are loved, God loves you, just exactly how you are, being able to represent that and seeing before me on staff, Shelly, who is a gay woman, being represented on the stage, fully gay, fully celebrated, everybody loved Shelly. That was important for me to see. And I wanted to be a part, and want to be a part of a community where people coming in the door, or if we're in the community at somewhere like Belmont, students seeing me, fully me, and seeing something in themselves that they can be. And I think GracePointe does a beautiful job of representing and making intentional decisions of making sure that people like us are platformed and that they see when they walk in the door, it's not just a stage full of people that are not like them or not like us. They actually connect and see that, oh, we're not just a church who says, oh, you can come, you're welcome, come pay your money, do your thing. But as soon as you want to get involved or as soon as you want to be on staff, that's where the line is. And that's not what GracePointe is. That's and so that is I think that's one of the most important things about GracePointe for me.
Tiffany?
I think Pride Sunday should exist. It needs to keep existing, and just spaces like this, because when I think about who God is, I think about this beautiful spectrum of identities and beliefs that each of us reflect. And so for us to, I have a big thing where there's a huge difference between being affirming and progressive and then also liberated. A lot of places are affirming, which means they're going to celebrate us, maybe, but they'll at least let us in the door and we can do some stuff, and they'll take our money and they'll take our time. And I think it's a good intention most of the time, and that's fine, but it still centers cis, straight, white people the whole time. And I don't need someone to sit at a table yelling at me, come hang out with me. What I want is, like, I don't have to go hang out with you because I'm empowered to know God and know myself and to be able to speak for God because I am a part of the reflection of God. Like, it's simple. And so in my space, like, I think, like, we are moving towards that space, the space of liberation, where it is, like, it doesn't have to be, come hang out with me at my space that looks the same, whether you're here or not, but it's like, no, cool, maybe there's queer people leading spaces, and maybe there's trans people leading stuff, and maybe we get to the point where like Pride Sunday is just every Sunday because it is just how we exist. But it doesn't tie back to like the majority owning everything. It's almost like a decolonizing of like hetero spaces. And to me, that is like where we move and we have to get to. But I think that's important spiritually because like there are kids all over the place, and y'all know this, kids who are in spaces that they do not get to choose the churches they go to. Very rarely does a kid get to choose that. Teenagers might, but people are stuck. People are stuck in spaces that are not loving and not affirming. And I think even just like our social media saying that we have a Pride Sunday or like live streaming, I think all those things are so important because you don't have to physically be free enough to show up here.
Yeah.
You can be in your space and still know you're not alone. And I think that saves lives. And to me, that's human flourishing and what God wants.
Yeah. I'll say one thing about a point this week that was driven home to me is I got invited to go, I think by Inclusion, Tennessee, to speak at the Williamson County School Board meeting, specifically around Title IX changes, specifically around the inclusion of trans kids in activities. And I was just totally, nobody yelled, nobody screamed, but just the people who took their time to come in and intentionally try to exclude kids. There are forces, and I don't mean like demonic forces, I mean like people forces who have a vision and agenda for this country that doesn't include God's kids. And we as a community need to be loud on these issues because there are other voices that are being really loud and they are not working for hope and healing and human flourishing. They are working to diminish the humanity of people who are made in the image of God, made exactly as God desired and dreamed to make them. And so we do this and will do this because we want to be a voice in a wilderness saying, no, you can be Christian. You can be Christian and LGBTQ plus or affirming and actually I'm starting to think that it's kind of hard to be in the shoes of Jesus if you're not, because that's where Jesus leads us toward embracing all of God's kids. Are you with me? Yes. Let's thank Ricky and Tiffany. We have one more thing for you today. Our dear friend Trey Pearson is here, and so Trey's going to play a few songs for you, and then we'll come back and wrap up.
Thank you. Happy Pride, everyone. Thank you. Might be shocking, I am gay. Were any of you here when I was at 3rd and Lindsley? Some of y'all, yeah? My name is Trey Pearson. I'm from Columbus, Ohio. Yeah. Thank you for letting me be a part of your morning here. So excited to be here this weekend for Pride. For those of you that don't know, I used to tour around the world in a Christian rock band called Everyday Sunday. My record labels were here out in Nashville, and I grew up in a very conservative Christian home, like so many of us, right? And was taught that God loved me until I found out that, I grew up believing Jesus loved all the little children in the world. And you find out, like, as, a 12-year-old that except the gay ones, and that was tough. But I really wanted to believe what my family believed, and just listening to those stories, I won't go crazy into it, but I've often had to ask myself, and still do, to be honest with you, like back then, maybe it was, can you be gay and be a Christian, right? And there's so many things that, I've always been that person that wore all my beliefs on my sleeves until they didn't work for me anymore. Grew up in a very Calvinist home till I was like 14, and ended up in a Wesleyan church and would like debate between those feelings, and then the whole time trying to push down that I was gay, and believing that it was a choice to be gay, and it was also an abomination. I don't know who chooses to be an abomination, but apparently people do. I'm just kidding, if anyone's... All right. I put all my faith into believing I could choose to be straight. God wanted me to fall in love, so if I'm going to fall in love, it has to be with a girl. I also grew up in sexual purity culture, so it's very easy to not do anything with a girl till I got married. And then I got married, and I just went into my wedding hoping, praying, thinking everything would magically work. And it didn't. And, I found myself between a rock and a hard place. Or not a hard place, depending on how you I'm so sorry, how you think about that. Gosh. Am I still allowed to talk, Josh? Okay, thanks. But I married this girl, kept hoping, thought, well, maybe it's because I always thought about guys, and maybe like if I just start thinking about girls more, it'll eventually get better. It's like this, thing that needs healed. I don't know. And but I really thought that, because when you grow up being brainwashed in these churches, it really messes with your head, and it takes a lot of work to undo that, which is why you should not raise your kids in churches that won't marry gay people. It's that simple. And but then I think even today, like, okay, and even when my life fell apart, when I finally hit the fan, it's like, what does it even mean to be a Christian? What does it mean to believe in God? What is God? And all I know, and that all I can always come back to is this, and it's that according to these ancient stories that people wrote down about Jesus, he said all the law can be summed up in this: love. That's it. So for me, I don't mind calling myself a Christian, because if what it means to be interested in the message of Jesus, it just means love, right? And love God, whatever God is, whatever that energy, being, spirit that gave us this, what we have right now with each other. That's something to be thankful for, and we could use a lot of more gratitude in this world. Are you with me? This song's about all the feelings I ever had growing up. And I wrote this shortly after I came out. It's called Hey Jesus. Is that, oh, here we go. We'll get there. Hey Jesus, can you hear me now? It's been a while since I came out. I was wondering, do you love me the same? You see, I've loved you since I was young. Tried to be the greatest son. Now I'm wondering, could they love me the same? 'Cause I know that I could never change. I tried so hard, brought so much pain, and I just wanna be loved for who I am. I know that I could never change. I tried so hard, brought so much pain, and I just wanna be loved for who I am. I just wanna be loved for who I am. Hey Jesus, can you hear me out? I just wanna love like everyone else. I was wondering, since you made me this way, do you want me to fall in love, to know what it's like to love someone else in the most intimate way? 'Cause I know that I could never change. I tried so hard, brought so much pain, and I just wanna be loved for who I am. I know that I could never change. I tried so hard, brought so much pain, and I just wanna be loved for who I am. I just wanna be loved for who I am. Sing this with me. And I wanna know, have you ever seen the rain? And I wanna know, have you ever seen the rain coming down on a sunny day? I know we can do louder than that. Are you with me, GracePointe? Come on. And I wanna know, have you ever seen the rain? And I wanna know, have you ever seen the rain coming down on a sunny day? And I wanna know, have you ever seen the rain? And I wanna know, have you ever seen the rain coming down on a sunny day? Hey Jesus, can you hear me now? It's been a while since I came out. I was wondering, could you love me the same? But I know that love is love. Oh, oh, oh. I know that love is love. Oh, oh, oh. And I know that love is love, and I never believed before now. Maybe tonight we'll find out. Don't wanna leave, can't get enough. Can y'all sing that with me? I know that love is love. Oh, oh, oh. I know that love is love. Oh, oh, oh. And I know that love is love, and I never believed before now. Maybe tonight we'll find out. Don't wanna leave, can't get enough. I know that love is love. Are you with me? All right, well, thank you so much. I know we just have a tiny bit of time left, but I did just put out a new single last weekend, and I'm going to play it for you if that's okay. So, if you listen to the record on, Spotify or Apple Music, it's definitely a lot more ready for the dancing than this. But I'm going to play you the slow. I love sad songs on the dance floor. So, but this is just a sad song, so here you go. This is a song I wrote a little while back. My parents were in a car accident. My dad had a heart attack at the wheel, and my dad died. And my parents weren't in my life for a long time after I came out, and I wondered if they would ever come back into my life. And I wrote this song right before that accident, and I got an answer very quickly. But the good news is now my mom is back in my life and my husband's life and our kids' lives, and it's really beautiful. But yeah, this song's called Broken Heart on the Dance Floor. How have you been? I'm building my life without you, that now that you're not around anymore. Soaking in what it's like to grieve this loss before you're gone. Is there a cure? I think I walked past you on Grandview Avenue. I knew I didn't want you to see me, 'cause then it just hurts more. Why couldn't you love me for who I am? Don't you know the feel of pain from a broken heart? Could it ever be the same? Could you come around again? Or was it love you felt for me, not who you are? I'm moving on. I'll try to remember how you loved me when I was young. Such a broken soul. Should I pretend to be someone that you could love, that you're proud of, someone who is enough? The hard part is my life is better than it ever was. I just wish that you could be here. I wish you could see me here. Why couldn't you love me for who I am? Don't you know the feel of pain from a broken heart? Could it ever be the same? Could you come around again? Or was it love you felt for me, not who you are? I think I'm giving up on you ever giving a damn. You know I cannot change who I am. It's not enough for you. I think I'm giving up on you ever giving a damn. You know I cannot change who I am. It's not enough for you. Why couldn't you love me for who I am? Don't you know the feel of pain from a broken heart? Could it ever be the same? Won't you come around again? Or was it love you felt for me, not who you are? Thank you. Well, one thing you'll hear a lot around LGBT people is that it gets better, and it does, because so many of us have had to go through what we have had to get to where we are now, to find the joy. You know, I always grew up in church hearing about some deep, profound joy and peace that passes all understanding, and to finally learn how to love myself and understand what that means, that it's a beautiful thing. Are you with me? And so anyway, my name is Trey Pearson. Thank you so much for having me. It's so lovely to be here. Happy Pride. I'm going to close this out with one last song, if everybody will stand up with me. But I'm going to need you to sing along. When the night is young and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we'll see. No, I won't be afraid. No, I won't be afraid. Just as long as you stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Stand by me. If the sky that we look upon should crumble and fall, and the mountains should tumble to the sea, no, I won't be afraid. No, I won't shed a tear. Just as long as you stand stand by me. Come on. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Stand by me. Thank you guys. Very happy to be a part of church this morning.
Thanks so much, man. Trey has some records and shirts and such over there if you'd like to check that out before you go. The kids call it merch, I believe. And next week we're going to jump back into our unlearning series, and we're going to talk about, because it is the season, unlearning God and country. So we hope you'll be with us next week right here at 10:30. We love you. Grace and peace be with you.